The Tycho AI crowd counting feature will alert the operator when the number of pedestrians that meet certain attributes exceeds a pre-configured threshold, indicating possible congestion or a safety risk in a controlled area, for example, a train platform. These alerts can also be triggered when the people count falls below a threshold. For step 1, you must create a crowd counting action. To create a crowd counting action, navigate to Create New Item, Crowd Counting Action. You can use the AI crowd counting action to count the individuals on a selection of cameras. Enter a name and description for the crowd counting action. Next, drag a camera from the devices list to the configuration window. You can drag a single or multiple cameras over to the configuration window. If you don't want the crowd counting action to trigger on the entire camera field of view, you can select a specific region of the camera field of view by drawing a region of interest. Next, you must specify a count maximum. The count maximum is maximum number of pedestrians that are allowed to be present in that area. Then select Target Tycho AI server that has already been added to the Victor system, or select any detected. Once complete, click the Save icon. For step 2, you must create a Display Salvo action. To create a Display Salvo action, navigate to Create New Item, Display Salvo Action. You can choose another output action for crowd counting, but for this example, we will create a Display Salvo action. Enter a name and description for the Display Salvo action. Using the provided icons, select an existing salvo or create a new salvo. Choose a salvo you previously created from the list and click OK button. Next, click the Add Monitor icon and select a monitor from the list that you would like the salvo to populate on. Then click the OK button and click the Save icon. For step 3, you must configure the event schedule setup. To configure the event schedule setup, navigate to System Configuration, Event Schedule Setup. Double-click Devices, select Crowd Counting Actions and select the crowd counting action you previously created. Once selected, click the OK button. Next, click the Action Type Bell icon on the crowd counting action box. Check the Crowd Count Exceeded checkbox and click the Add Alerts button. To add the action to trigger from the Crowd Count Exceeded alert, click the bell icon on the Alerts box. Then select Display Salvo Actions. Select the Display Salvo action you previously created and click the OK button. Once you have completed the event schedule setup for Crowd Count Exceeded, you can complete the same steps for a Crowd Count Acceptable output. Lastly, click the Save button. For step 4, you must create a weekly schedule. To exceed the crowd counting action, you must associate it with a schedule. To create a weekly schedule, navigate to Create New Item, Schedule Weekly. Enter a name and description for the weekly schedule. Use the calendar provided to select when you would like the crowd counting action to trigger. To configure a trigger start time, select the time interval on the calendar and then click the Create New Interval button. Once completed, click the Save icon. For step 5, you must configure Event Management. Using Event Management, you can associate the crowd counting action you created with the weekly schedule. To configure Event Management, navigate to System Configuration, Event Management. Click the Add icon, select Schedule Weekly and select the weekly schedule you previously created. Click OK and then the next arrow to move to the next section. Select the bell icon opposite the schedule start time and click the next arrow. Leave the During Schedule section as default and click the next arrow. For the Case Action section, check the checkbox of the crowd counting action you previously created. Once complete and all sections are green, click the Save icon. Now that all configuration steps are complete, once the scheduled time occurs, the crowd counting schedule will trigger the crowd counting action. The crowd counting schedule will appear in the activity window, and if the maximum crowd count is exceeded, the Display Salvo action will take effect and the camera live footage will populate. From the activity window, you can see that the crowd threshold you configured is 14 and this has been exceeded as the identified crowd count is 90 individuals. Thank you for watching.